What's up, guys? My name is Wesley Russell. I'm a freelance videographer based out of Omaha, Nebraska. I specialize in weddings, interviews, and documentaries. And today I want to do a quick rundown on my full rig and setup for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K for under $2,000. Now, with that said, I want everyone to know, and I want to put a big disclaimer out there that this is my setup. I know a lot of people have the funds, and I know a lot of people have the money to go all out and take this $1,295 camera and rig it out with $7,000. And if that's you, awesome. If that's not you and you're just getting started out there in filmmaking, or you've been in filmmaking for a very long time, but you just can't convince yourself to spend that extra penny, even though there is an argument for it being worth it and there is an argument for it not being worth it. This video is simply for either beginners, people who are in a pinch, or people who just can't justify spending that much money, or even people who want to cut costs for lighting or audio or anything like that. Now, with that said, and these disclaimers out of the way, let's go through how I rig my Pocket Cinema camera. So, with that said, if you just go to Amazon, and I already have one pulled up here, but we can go ahead and just type in Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, just hit enter, and we'll see what pops up. So, obviously it's going to have some, gimbals and things like that, or water rove cameras, and that's not necessarily what we're looking for. All you have to do is click this first one, and then see, you can even get it as soon as Sunday, May 23rd, and today is May 20th, so that quick. Free delivery, fastest delivery, things like that. Anyways, so as you can see here, we just have this camera. Now, when you get this camera, it's going to end up coming up in this box. Now, this box obviously isn't anything fancy. Matter of fact, it is literally just a box. And so when this comes in, it'll come in with some styrofoam, it'll come in with the camera, it'll come with one battery and a lens cap. And that's it. That's really all you need. So for $1,295, you can have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So that's going to be the first thing you need. Now, the second thing you're going to need, and it's really essential with the Pocket Cinema Camera lineup, is a rig. Now, whether you want a half rig or a full rig, this is just what I did to get that price point fully rigged up under $2,000. And there's plenty of great options out there. There's small rig, there's Tilta, things like that. I went a little bit of a cheaper route. I don't necessarily think I'm going to get any less time or longevity out of my option. Just know that there is some ergonomic pluses to the other ones and ergonomic cons to the one that I'm going to suggest today. So the one that I'm going to suggest today is the Magic Rig Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K rig that I have pulled up here. So as you can see, this will come with a top handle, which I really like. Essentially because with this camera, with no in-body image stabilization, with no autofocus, you're really going to want to weigh this thing down to get the most stable image, especially when you're shooting 23.9 or 24 frames per second. You're really going to want something with a good base so it doesn't swing and you don't get those camera jitters and shakes. So with that said, I have the Magic Rig 4K or 6K camera cage for this camera up. It comes with that top-down handle. It comes with the SSD holder, which I absolutely love. You will need external memory for this. You can use SD cards and CFast cards and things like that. I would just push you and encourage you to just go ahead and buy you an SSD, whether it's 500 gigabytes or 1 terabyte. So with the Magic Rig, as you can tell, it is $89.99, still keeping us under that $2,000 mark. Pretty simple. I'll show you some of the pictures here, what it looks like on the camera. This will come with, as you see here, top-down handle. This will come with the SSD holder. This will come with the full cage. This will come with 3 little Allen wrenches. It'll come with 5 screws, or 7 screws, and that is what you're getting for $89.99. So next up, one of the things that you're going to want to invest in, like I said, is that external memory. There's really one mainstream option here that I would encourage you to go with just because it has reliability, it's proven, and they're just kind of the most reliable in my opinion and in most people's opinion. So I have this pulled up right here. This is the Samsung T5 portable SSD. I went with the 1 terabyte. You can go with the 1 terabyte in this setup and still remain under that $2,000 mark. If you want to pinch even more pennies, you can go with the Samsung T5 portable SSD, the 500 gigabyte solid state drive, which is just half of that 1 terabyte for about $40 less, is what it seems like. So whether you want the 500 gigabyte or whether you want that 1 terabyte, that is up to you. But I do thoroughly encourage you to kind of shy away from memory cards and shy away from CFast cards. If you are on a strict budget, feel free to use those memory cards. The issue is these file sizes are going to take up massive amounts of space, and not only that, but these external memory cards just kind of look cool. So next up is kind of one of the most important things about this camera, and that is powering options. And the reason I say that this is one of the most important aspects or the important parts of this video is because that little bitty battery that they send you to power this camera in that box, well, to be frank, it sucks. And you're only going to get about 25 to 32 minutes out of that battery. So you have to have some way of rigging this up with external power as well. Now, there are going to be tons of videos on YouTube that are teaching you how to run a monitor and your camera out of the same thing. I don't like that. There have been issues with other people. I've never ran into it because I never try it, where they fry their ports or they fry their camera or they just destroy the whole powering system on this camera and specifically, and not only that, but other cameras as well. So what I went with, and I can normally go a full day on a wedding with about 2 to 2.5 of these batteries, and that is the Vodka Power and Listen. If I'm not saying vodka right, it sounds slightly provocative. Nah, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if it is provocative or not. But anyways, the FOTGA, the Vodka Power Adapter Cable for NPF970 batteries. Now, what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you, as you can see, it's going to be able to mount right here. You're going to be able to mount this to that Magic Rig full camera rig, and as you can tell up here, there is a direct power source. This is going to allow you, as even though it says 7.4 volts there, this is going to allow you to have 12 volt power directly to your camera. Now, a little trick that I have found with powering these things is to always leave your original battery or the OEM battery or the stock battery that came with the camera. Leave that in your camera. That way, when you go to change batteries and things like this on this setup that I have, the Vodka Power Plate, your camera will continue to roll and it won't lose power. That's just a little words of wisdom that I really enjoy with this camera. So with this, you're able to power your 6K or your 4K camera. In this case, we're going to try to power the 4K with it. It mounts up. It can mount up just on the camera like this. It can mount up on a rig. I have it mounted on the right side of my rig as we speak, and you can get all of that for $45.98, and that's just going to be a one-time purpose. As you can tell over here, there's only 5 left in stock, so if you see this video, you might want to get it ASAP. Now, since we're still under that $2,000 mark, and now we have something to rig onto the camera, we've gone through the rig, we've gone through memory, we've gone through power plates, now battery options, and you will find crazy amounts of videos about what to use and how to power it and why to power it and in what dimensions can we ever power this camera effectively. And there's going to be a lot of people who say you can't and that you just need to fly to Mars and make your own camera, and there's going to be a lot of people who say just rig those big fat batteries up there. And I'm here to tell you that you don't necessarily have to do that. I have a very lightweight solution. It's kind of middle ground, not the big batteries, not the tiny batteries, but kind of the in-between batteries. Those batteries being the NPF 970 replacement batteries. These are kind of unique in the fact that they have these little displays on them that'll kind of let you know as the battery is going down. They're not the most accurate, but they are accurate enough that can kind of keep you in the loop and knowing, oh, I need to go get a new battery, or oh, I'm good to go, or I need to charge this one, so on and so forth. With these batteries, they're charged just by a mini USB, but you can also power other things here with this main USB. I ended up getting 4 of these, so you get 2 in a pack. I paid double, so it ended up being around $102. But if you're within a budget and you're trying to stay well within that budget, you can actually get these for 1 cent under $52. And there's really nothing better than that. I went with 4 of these, like I said, but for $52, the fact that you can get 2 batteries that, if you're careful enough, will get you through almost an entire wedding. I don't necessarily know any other options out there. This ergonomic, this easy to use, this lightweight, out there for this camera. And like I said, I get 3 to 4 hours out of each of these batteries. And then lastly, you're gonna need a lens. Now, what I suggest as far as lenses go for this camera in particular is, obviously you're gonna have to go with the Micro Four Thirds at first if you're wanting to stay within this budget. Obviously, if you have more money, you can go get EF lenses, or you can go get adapters, you can go get EF lenses, you can go use whatever lenses you want and adapt them to this. But if you want to stay within that budget, I'm going to give you 1 or 2 ideas on how to get a cheap lens to put on this camera. What I would suggest as far as lens wise, and I know that this says $147.99, but hear me out. What I would suggest is to look for this Panasonic 25mm f1.7 lens used on Facebook Marketplace, on eBay, on Amazon, used lenses and things like that, or even used camera sites. You could pick these up for $30, $40, even $50 if you find the right person who's wanting to let them go, if you find someone who doesn't even know what they have. Not only that, but you can also find the 7 Artisans 25mm equivalent to that, which is also 1.7 or 1.8, I'm not sure. I have it pulled up here on the screen. Obviously this is $56.96. You can also find these for pretty cheap on the interwebs and on Facebook Marketplace, or even your used camera stores. So at the end of the day, the principle there reigns true. You should be able to find a used lens on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, or even at your local camera store that is used for anywhere from $25 to $70 that will fit a Micro Four Thirds camera. Now, it may not be the lens you want, it may not be the Sigma, it may not be a 1.8, it may not even be a 2.8, but at the end of the day, it's a lens that will go on your camera and get you out there shooting and get you out there learning this camera for under $2,000. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to try to really work on being more consistent on this channel with tutorials, gear reviews, and really just anything videography related. Feel free to follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I've deleted Twitter. I'm sure you can find me on MySpace somewhere out there. And as always, live a blessed life.